You can't stop people criticizing. You cannot let it in.
So how do you help other people if you're also afraid of judgment? It's having your foot on the gas and a brake at the same time.
Once you start feeling the success, you realize, look, it doesn't matter what the other people think, other than my customers, other than my, my partners, other than my employees. I care what they think.
Rise and shine, it's espresso time!
I wake up every morning.
Espresso keep me going.
I wake up every morning.
So let's start your day off right together. Grab your coffee and sip on today's message from Marissa Peer. Also, if you want to learn from successful women entrepreneurs and how to have more self-love, check out my 254 series. They are free. The links to join are in the description below.
Successful people do what they hate to get to where they want to be. Learn not to let in destructive criticism. Now, you can't stop people criticizing, but you cannot let it in. Years and years and years ago, when I was getting engaged to my boyfriend, my boss actually said to me, when I said, I need some time before getting married, she went, oh my God, your boyfriend's so good looking. How on earth have you got him to marry you? And I remember thinking, wow, that's a bit hardcore. And I could have said something like, I have to handcuff him to the bed, he's so good looking. But you see, that's letting it in and having to come back. Or I could have said, how dare you say that to me? So I just said to her, oh, it's called love, we love each other. And I didn't let it in because I thought, wow, she must be a really unhappy person to do that. But much, much later, it's obviously a different boyfriend, someone said to me, God, your boyfriend is so unattractive, you could do so much better, why are you with him? And I went, that's what an amazing guy he is, because I've never even seen that. I just think he's incredible. And my daughter said to me, Mummy, he's really ugly. And I said, yeah, I know. And I love him so much, which shows what a great guy he must be, because I just think he's gorgeous. And of course, my daughter then realized that she couldn't go anywhere with that, because I didn't let it in. And so if you can learn not to let in destructive criticism, that too will change your life.
If you live your life based off the opinions of other people, you will never do anything great. Take a look at who you're worried about. People who are not happy with their life. People who never went and took their shot. People who spend their life complaining instead of trying to change something. Is that who you want to be so worried about, what they think about your decisions? If anything, you want to do the exact opposite of what they're telling you to do. You don't want their life. So stop living your life by their rules. So I had an amazing one-on-one with an entrepreneur yesterday at my Q&A session here in Toronto that I do weekly. And I feel for her. She's such a talented, amazing, gifted entrepreneur. And we talked about your purpose coming from your pain. And she went through some massive pain that guided her to this success right now and on her path to personal development. But she's afraid to share what happened. And she said, maybe in a year or two, like give me a year to work on it and maybe I'll share it. Because she's afraid of what people will think. She's afraid that if it doesn't work out, that she may not be able to get another job. She's afraid of all these things that people might say about her if they found out the truth. The problem is that's your path. I don't care about where you're at right now. I need to know where you've come from. I need to know that you look like me. I need to know that your story is like mine. And so by living in the shadows and being afraid to tell the truth, what you're doing is, one, not letting people connect to you as a real person, right? This fake, perfect version of you isn't something that people can connect to. Two, you make it so that whatever you went through, you're telling yourself that it's shameful, and you're telling other people that it's shameful too. But if you come out and talk about what happened, then the people who feel ashamed about it, they now can come out and say, I'm not the only one. This happens to other people too. I'm a little bit more normal. And three, if you want to build a business, if you want to create a YouTube channel, if you want to have a podcast, you want to be an author, you want to write a book, that's the thing that's going to actually help take you off. That's the thing. There was a great video that I told her about a woman who gained 70 pounds from having a child. So she's pregnant, she gained 70 pounds and she had a 10-pound baby, and now she had 60 pounds of extra fat on her, right? 60 pounds. So that's a lot. And so she's trying to lose it, and she's working out, and she's eating healthy, and she finally gets down to having 6-pack abs and looking great. And then somebody noticed that when she bent over, that they could see the flaps of skin. When she stood up, it was all 6-pack, but when she bent over, there was flaps of skin. And what most people would have done is deleted that video, pretend like it didn't exist, not talk about that comments, right? Only show the perfect version. Look how much weight I lost. But she did something different. Instead, she said, yeah, that's my body now. That's what happens when you gain 70 pounds in pregnancy and pump out a 10-pound baby. And that became a rallying cry. That one moment of vulnerability, of saying, hey, I'm still not perfect. Like, look at this saggy skin that I still have. That's what brought people to her. Now she's not just another mom who lost weight and did this workout plan and meal plan, right? That connection was real. And now she's built $1 million plus business from selling e-courses and her recipes and everything else that she goes through. That's the thing. This is your competitive advantage. Your purpose, your pain, your story is your competitive advantage. I do not want to learn from you until I know that you've been through what I'm going through. I can't relate to that story, right? I can't tell that story. I can't tell a mom who gained 70 pounds how to lose weight. That's not my story. I can't relate to it. But helping entrepreneurs, I can, because I struggled and I suffered and I was making $300 a month and I was eating the same bean salad lunch every day and I celebrated with only McDonald's French fries because I couldn't afford to buy it. All of it. I struggle with fear and embarrassment and shame. All of it. I know what it's like. I've been through that. And why I do what I do now is because I want to try to make the path a little bit easier for the next generation of entrepreneurs, for you. I want you to feel like you're not alone. I want you to feel like there's a place you can come to with a beautiful community, a Believe Nation, where we're supporting each other. And there's content every single day across multiple channels that you can go and digest and dive into and hopefully make your path just a little bit easier. Because I wish I had this when I was getting started, when I was a 19-year-old entrepreneur who was insecure and ashamed and embarrassed and not willing to talk to anybody about the problems I was going through. Right? That's the thing that will connect people to you. But if you're so afraid of what people's judgments are going to be, you're never going to get started. I believe humans are built to serve. You're built to serve. You want to help other people. It's hardwired into us. Studies show that the impact of serving other people has the same effect on your brain as food and sex. It's hardwired into you. You want to help other people. And at the same time, you're afraid of judgment. So how do you help other people if you're also afraid of judgment? It's having your foot on the gas and a brake at the same time. You know you're capable of more, but then you're just standing on the same spot. It's the worst. And so you have to let go of the opinions of other people. Some people may not like what you're doing. That's okay. That can't prevent you from service. That can't prevent you from fulfilling your mission. That can't prevent you from living the life you want, because you're going to be 95 years old, looking back on your life and regretting it, knowing you're capable of more, but never taking action. So how do you better deal with criticism? I'm going to give you a 3-step process. Step number 1 is have empathy. Have empathy. If you believe like I believe that humans are built to serve, right? We're built to serve. Then if somebody is being critical and negative when they are built to serve, how bad does their life have to be that is forcing them to act this way? How bad does somebody's life have to be to come to your YouTube video and leave a nasty comment, or to tell you to your face that you suck and your idea is never going to work? How bad does their life have to be? So have some empathy. Like, their life sucks. And they're lashing out at not just you, everybody around them. So have empathy. When you have empathy, it removes the sting out of the words. Right now, it doesn't touch you as much because, if anything, you feel sorry for that person. You don't have to say, hey, I feel so sorry for you. You don't need to go and make it worse or have it go on an ego trip. But just know inside, have empathy, feel sorry for them, and not let it hit you as hard when they're giving you some criticism about your idea or you. Number 2 is look for a gem. A lot of times in the criticism, there's actually something you can learn from. A lot of times when somebody criticizes their idea or leaves a nasty comment on YouTube, you might just write it off of that person's being a hater. Maybe they are, but there might be a kernel of truth. There might be some gem in there that you can use. I think a lot of people are too sensitive. I think if you can only take feedback when somebody sugarcoats it and packages it nicely and say, I love you, I love your channel, I love everything you're doing, I love all your ideas, but there's one little tiny thing that I think if you fix would really help. If that's the only way you can take feedback, you're gonna lose. You're gonna get nasty comments, and some of them are just pure haters and it's their own problem. But sometimes buried within that nasty comment is actually a kernel of truth. There's a gem in there for you. And so if you can remove the sting, right? Have empathy, remove the sting, then look at the comment and see, is there anything from this comment? Is there anything in this critique that I can actually learn to make my idea or my concept better? Look for the gem. And then number 3 is addressed to those who are dealing with their parents who might be your biggest critic. Understand that your parents are pilgrims. Your parents are pilgrims. Your parents come from a different era. If you're 20 years old right now, as an example, the opportunities available to you using this are things that your parents at 20 years old can't understand. The opportunities available to you right now are insane compared to what your parents had when they're at your same age. And so when they're saying, go get a safe job, go be a doctor, go be a lawyer, go be an accountant, go do something, you can work at some job forever. That's actually their version of love for you, right? That's empathy. Empathy, step into their shoes. They love you. Chances are your parents love you. I hope. But chances are they do. And so they're trying to give you advice that they would have given themselves X number of years ago back when they were your age. They just don't understand what's available right now. A lot of times, a lot of the people who are critiquing you, criticizing you, it may be out of love. They just don't understand the path that you see. They don't understand the world that we're living in right now. They don't understand everything that can be created. And so have that empathy for them. Understand that that's where they're coming from. They love you. And again, removes the sting out of the words. And then you can see, how do you want to act? How do you want to react to these people around you that would make you feel proud? Whatever that is in your head, then go and do it. Now I've got a really special bonus clip that I think you're going to enjoy. But before that, question of the day, I want to know, who do you need to stop listening to and why? Let me know in the comments below. And if you're going to take action after watching this video, you got something from this, give me a hashtag believe down in the comments below too.
Those people really are concerned about what people think about them. It holds them back. You never, ever, ever, ever have. It's not a part of who you are. Is that your DNA, or where did that come from?
I don't know. I just never gave a I mean, yeah, it's just, once you get success in something, I mean, even when look, I failed many times, and you learn from those failures that it doesn't hurt as bad as you thought.
Yeah.
You know, that you can bounce back. And then once you taste some success, you realize it doesn't matter how many times you failed.
Yeah.
Right? You only have to be right one time, then everybody's always an overnight success, or, you know, this came easy to them. You know, you just got to keep on grinding and keep on trying new things. And you know, once you start feeling the success, you realize, look, it doesn't matter what the other people think, other than my customers, other than my, you know, my partners, other than my employees. I care what they think. But, you know, from the outside looking in, I was always just so focused that I just never, I mean, I got distracted from time. I don't want to say never distracted, but, you know, I just didn't want anybody else. I didn't want to think that how people saw me was a reflection of the job I was doing. You know, if my customers were happy, if my stakeholders were happy, I was happy.
If you want to see how Marissa Peer thinks that rejection leads to success, check out the video right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.
I know you think I'm going to die from rejection. I'm not. Actually, it's going to make me stronger.